What is going on, guys? B-Man27 here, and welcome back to another top 5 Rocket League video. Today we are taking a look at my opinion on the top 5 ugliest cars. The cars in Rocket League either get used way too much or never get used by a single player ever. The cars on the list are rarely used by anyone because no one wants their mental state to be questioned. Anyways, before I shit on them too much, let's get into the first one. The first car in this list is the Grogg, which comes with the Chaos Run DLC pack. This car honestly isn't that ugly, but there are only a few really ugly cars, so I had to include one that I didn't like the look of, but still isn't all that ugly. This car, however, looks like an import version of the Merc. This car is weird because I believe it is the widest car in the game, so in the menu it looks like it's like this big giant hefty car, but when you get into a game it really isn't that big. It takes a little bit of time to get used to this because it is so strange to control. This car is very uncommon, and the fact that it is a DLC car makes it even more uncommon. Honestly, I can't say the last time I played against someone using this car. Coming down to number 4, we have the Venom. This is definitely a strange and ugly car. I have no idea who designed this car, but they must have been high as fuck. How do you even come up with the idea for this car? I can understand the design process for cars like the Octane, both Dominuses, Takumi, and other cars like that, but all the other cars on this list, including the Venom, are just so strange that I have no idea how you would come up with the idea for these without tripping balls. Also, one thing to mention is that the back of the Venom looks way different than you would expect it to look like. The Venom really has no strong points or things that I've noticed stand out for it, so along with being ugly, it isn't good. Number 3 on this list is the Octane's retarded cousin. The Git Smell is a card that I used to always use when I was new, but then I realized that the Octane is better and looks way cooler. Psyonix even changed the look of it a little bit in the last big update, and it still looks so dumb and ugly. If you want a car with this general shape, then just use the Octane because it looks similar, but something about the Octane just makes it look so much cooler. If I see someone using this car, I automatically think down on them. I just assume that their 5-year-old brother got onto their account and started to try and play Rocket League. The second most ugly car in Rocket League is the Hotshot. I have never played against this car before, and for good reason, because this car just has no point to use it. It also looks so dumb with the middle section being lower than the rest of the car. Also, if this was a real car, then there'd be no way that the driver would be able to see out the windshield. Of course, they couldn't make the whole car as flat as the middle section because then they couldn't make a DLC car of the Batmobile. Seriously though, the Hotshot is basically just the Batmobile if the front and ass end got stung by a bunch of bees. I did end up getting a really cool freestyle goal, which I did by channeling the inner energy of the Batmobile that this car has inside of it. It honestly doesn't really look that cool, but for my standards it was pretty sick. And now for the number 1 spot, I have the Grape car. The Scarab is the ugliest car in the game by far. The sheer fact that it is just a ball with wheels automatically puts it at the top of this list. This car is like the even more retarded version of the Gizmo, which is already the retarded version of the Octane. This car has 0 reasons that you would use it because it isn't good at shit. The only reason you have this car is to get all the toppers and cool stuff that comes with the DLC pack. The other car that comes with it is the Zippy, which isn't all that good looking either. You know how I said earlier that all the cars on this list were probably made when Psyonix was high? Well, the person who made this overdosed on shrooms. And just to put that into perspective, you would have to take about 37 pounds to die from shrooms. Most people wake up to find themselves lost in a park without any clothes on after doing shit like that, but the employees at Psyonix woke up to find they made the Scarab. So I guess those are my picks for the top 5 ugliest cars in Rocket League. I guess I did judge slightly on if they were good or not, but none of the ugly cars are really potentially good except for the Grogg at goalie since it is just so wide. I would actually be interested to see what you guys think the ugliest cars are, so put those in the comments. Also keep in mind that I didn't include any of the DLC pack cars that you have to buy separately like the Batmobile or Vulcan. One last thing before I end this, rate the video in the comments on a scale from 8 meaning it was the worst video ever and 137 meaning it was the best video you ever saw, in which case you have very bad taste in what quality content is. Anyways, so don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.